1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors. This is Precious D, and welcome back to 31 Days of Horror. Day number 17. My good friend, Dead Juicler, also known as Jed Dusler, is back with me today as we discuss another Bruce Campbell masterpiece, Army of Darkness.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
This is from 1992. It is, so it's like 4 years later?
I thought it was
5 years later?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I'm sure you're looking
5
right.
years. 5 years. It's a direct sequel to Evil Dead 2, picks up right where it left off, but it was filmed 5 years later, or released 5 years later. Once again, directed by Sam Raimi, written by Sam and Ivan Raimi. I'm not familiar with Ivan.
Isn't that his brother?
He must be. He is an American emergency medical physician and screenwriter, and a brother filmmaker, Sam Raimi, and actor Ted Raimi. So I guess he spends most of his time doing doctor shit. But
Right.
occasionally.
I just like...
That's why we haven't heard of him.
Right. It's like filmmaker / EMT.
Yeah. Produced by Robert Tappert again, and music by Joseph Loduca, produced by Dino De Laurentiis Communications and Renaissance Pictures, distributed by Universal. Jesus. 81 minutes, 88 minutes international, budget of 11 million this time, but a box office of 21.5, which just goes to show you got to spend money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
It stars Bruce Campbell again as Ashley Ash, Jay Williams, and Evil Ash, and multiple little tiny Ashes.
Yeah.
M. Beth Davids as Sheila, Marcus Gilbert as Lord Arthur, not King Arthur, just Lord Arthur. Ian Abercrombie as Wise Man, Richard Grove as Duke Henry the Red, Timothy Patrick Quill as Blacksmith, Michael Earl Reed as Goldtooth, Bridget Fonda as Linda.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Bridget fucking Fonda as Linda, who just appears in a little recap flashback at the beginning
At the beginning and the end.
of the movie.
Yeah. She's in the bookends of the movie. And
Is she at the end? I don't remember her at the end.
yeah.
I was kind of dozing off a
It's
little.
one of my, I know we're getting ahead here, but it's one of my favorite little scenes. He's finishing telling up his entire story, and this dead-eyed starts coming at him, and he just pushes his girlfriend out of the way.
What I thought. So you think that's her at the end that he's talking to? Because Linda should be dead.
Right. I know. She should be dead at the beginning of the movie.
No. Angela Featherstone is S-Mart store girl.
Oh, okay. So his girlfriend was played by who then?
Bridget Fonda.
I guess I didn't recognize her in the movie.
Well, I didn't either. Daughter of Peter Fonda, granddaughter of Henry Fonda, niece of Jane Fonda.
Did not recognize her in the movie, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not like this was at the beginning of her career. I don't understand it.
I guess it's so they could put it in the.
She was just. Maybe she was just on this.
The movie though.
She was just on the lot that day. I don't know. Maybe she's friends with some. It was De Laurentiis. Maybe he was like, "Oh, hey, Jane." So ran into her in the studio cafeteria and said, "Hey, you want to come film for about 5 minutes?"
He's all eating a sandwich. What you doing later? Want to be in a movie?
Like, yeah, I got a little time between scenes in leather jackets and single white female. Sure, I can go. I'm wrapped for the day on singles.
Right.
These are movies that came out in 92 that she's in.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing
Once again, thank you, Wikipedia. Anyway, we have Bill Moseley as Deadite Captain, Patricia Tallman as Possessed Witch, Ted Raimi as Cowardly Warrior, Second Supportive Villager, and Anthony the S-Mart Clerk, and Skeleton Voices. So, Sam really getting a lot of work out of his brother Ted.
it's a lot of
Did I mention I
Everybody.
was on an episode of How Did This Get Made recently, correcting them about Ted Raimi.
Where are you?
They have those follow-up episodes. They used to be mini episodes, but now they've gotten too long to call mini episodes. They have the corrections and omissions, and they had said that Sam Raimi was in this scene in this movie, and that he produced, and I called them up to say that was not Sam, that was Ted. That's the first time I've called him.
Exactly like something you would do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking for other opportunities. It seems like a lot of the same names I hear on those.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. I hear a lot of the same names on corrections and omissions, so I think maybe it's not that hard to get on there. So if I notice
wrong on purpose,
yeah,
they can have content for another show.
Yeah, if I notice anything in the future, I will definitely call again.
Right.
All right, let's get into this Wikipedia summary. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
If you haven't donated to Wikipedia lately, get on that. Having been accidentally transported to the Middle Ages, like you do, Ash Williams is captured by Lord Arthur's men. So at the end of the last movie, the ritual to get rid of the demon opened up a portal back to the Middle Ages, and Ash and his car went through it.
And once he's there, the only thing he really wants to do is get back to the future.
God damn it. Ash Williams is captured by Lord Arthur's men, who suspect him of being a spy for Duke Henry. So they kind of redo at the end, he shoots a Deadite. They start to attack him, and then he shoots a flying demon, and they're all like, yay! But now that's not what happens this time.
Right. Once again, another timeline or something.
Yeah, alternate timeline. They suspect him of being a spy for Duke Henry, with whom Arthur is at war. He is enslaved along with the captured Henry. His shotgun and chainsaw are confiscated, and he is taken to Arthur's castle. You know, he still hasn't had that stump properly treated, and now he's in the Middle Ages. That is going to get infected.
Sure it's infected.
Yeah,
but it's the least of his worries. Clearly,
folks, if you haven't seen it, if you weren't listening, he had to cut off his own possessed hand with a chainsaw in the last movie, and then attached the chainsaw with a harness to his stump. So this is the same day as far as he's concerned.
Right.
He should probably have passed out from blood loss by now.
Yes.
Because there's no cauterizing the wound scene or anything like that. So it should still be bleeding pretty badly.
You've got the director's cut. Maybe it's in there.
Ash is thrown in a pit where he kills a Deadite and regains his weapons from Arthur's wise man. After demanding that Henry and his men be set free and killing a Deadite publicly, Ash is celebrated as a hero. Yay! So he got there. It just took a little longer. He grows attached to Sheila, the sister of one of Arthur's fallen knights. So apparently no grieving period whatsoever for Linda.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the wise man, the only way that Ash can return to his time is through the magical Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Ash then starts his search for the Necronomicon. As he enters a haunted forest, an unseen force pursues Ash into a windmill, and he crashes into a mirror. Small reflections of Ash in the mirror shards come to life, with one becoming a life-size copy of him, after which Ash kills and buries it. When he arrives at the Necronomicon's location, he finds 3 books instead of 1, and has to determine which one is real.
This is also where you start to get the sense that it's going to be a little bit more comedy than anything else. During this scene itself, you start to get some of that comedy.
Yeah.
First of all, he's talking out loud to himself.
Yes. It's another big section of the film with him just doing crazy shtick by himself against special effects.
Yes, very. Yeah, go ahead.
Realizing at the last moment that he has forgotten the last word of the phrase that will allow him to remove the book safely, Klaatu Barada Nikto, which listeners may recall is from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Did you say it correctly? Did you say everything, the words, absolutely correct.
I did. I think they pronounce it's Klaatu Barada Nikto, but I think they're pronouncing it slightly different in the movie. I can't remember now how they said it though.
One of my favorite,
Like
one of my
Victo or
favorite
something.
things in a horror movie.
I'm pretty sure.
Especially that scene. He's trying to say it, and he cannot remember what the last word is. So what does he do? He says the first two words. By the way, he says the first two words, and they get this. Hold on, let me see if I can do it here with my microphone. They get the first part of the word there, and they get. How do you say it?
Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Klaatu Barada. So you get this very domineering, oh, and then he just completely cannot remember the very last.
He just
decides to cough it out.
Yeah, he mumbles and coughs his way through it. He grabs the book and begins rushing back. Meanwhile, unknown to Ash, his ruse has failed, and his body's copy rises from the dead, uniting other Deadites into the Army of Darkness. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Upon his return, I find it interesting this movie is just called Army of Darkness. It's not, and on my director's cut, Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness, but it is not called, it's not called Evil Dead 3. It's not called Army of Evil Dead. No. So I don't know why they were not consciously or overtly trying to connect it in the marketing.
I don't know, because to me, it's a completely different movie from the very beginning.
It is, but you know, somebody watched the first movie and might be interested in this one, so you might want to, you know.
Yeah, but if
and there's a recap.
The especially with sequels back then, sequels followed a very specific kind of deal. It's the same as the first movie, but a little different. So
yeah,
that was not the case at all with this one.
No.
And we've been in a universe, I think, and so named it.
We've been going through the Resident Evil movies, and one thing we really appreciate is that each of them's a little different. Whereas when we looked at,
you can do that with video game movies.
When we looked at Fright Night, although we enjoyed the sequel, it was very much the same movie over again.
Yeah.
And of course, Evil Dead 2, as we said in the last episode, is a second draft of Evil Dead 1.
Right, but like I said, that's the whole movie making process. That's how it used to have to be. You know, they've started to break that mold finally a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, what they've also kind of going off for a second, they've also stopped having to, like they did with Spider-Man, they don't have to give you the origin story. It's like, we know you've seen all of these movies.
Right.
You know that, even if you've never read the comic, you know what happened to Uncle Ben. Okay?
Yeah. Yep. This sequel definitely goes in a different direction. So, upon his return, Ash demands to be returned to his own time. However, Sheila is abducted by a flying Deadite and later transformed into one. Ash becomes determined to lead the outnumbered humans against the army, and the people reluctantly agree. Using knowledge from textbooks in his 1970...
Hold on. So, when it's revealed that she's now a Deadite, one of my favorites, and once again, it's just overheard. It's a throwaway line. I don't know. You know, all these skeletons. This Deadite, this army, is full of these stop motion skeletons, and so when she reveals that she's now a Deadite, you can overhear from the crowd of all these skeletons, "Aye, there's a sight for sore bones." I love it. And it's said with such, such passion. Oh, I've been waiting to see her like this. And apparently they were all pirates.
Yes. Yarr. Using knowledge from textbooks in his 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88, he was a college student in the previous films, and enlisting the help of Duke Henry.
And there was also a magazine, a copy of Fangoria magazine in there. We've been in, just throwing it in there.
Have we for Dollboy?
No, not for Dollboy, for Circus of the Dead.
No, I wasn't in that. Remember?
Oh well, I talked
my cameo got cut. Did you? I haven't seen this.
I'll get you a copy of it.
I'd like to see that. We will have an ad for this show coming up in G-Fan magazine.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be in the next issue. Full page ad. Ash successfully leads the soldiers to victory over the Deadites, and their captain saves Sheila and brings peace to Arthur and Henry. Using a passage from the Necronomicon, the wise man tells him how to return to the present by giving him a potion after reciting the same phrase earlier. Back in the present, Ash recounts his story to a fellow employee at the S-Mart department store. That's Ted Raimi. Mm-hmm. As he talks to a female co-worker who is interested in his story, a surviving Deadite, present because Ash once again forgot the last word, attacks the customers. Ash kills it using a Winchester rifle and exclaims, "Hail to the king, baby," before passionately kissing the female co-worker. Have you seen the original ending?
I guess I didn't know there was a different one.
Well, it's on this DVD I have here, but it's also mentioned on Wikipedia. For the film's original ending, using a passage from the Necronomicon, the wise man tells Ash to swallow 6 drops of the potion to return to the present. Unfortunately, due to a distraction by falling rocks, Ash miscalculates the amount of potion needed to be able to correctly return to his own time, swallowing 7 instead of 6. As a result, he wakes up in a post-apocalyptic future where human civilization is destroyed, and he screams in dismay at having overslept. Universal Pictures objected to this climax, feeling it was too negative and depressing in tone, and so a more positive and optimistic ending was filmed and ultimately incorporated into the theatrical cut. So I don't recall if that is the ending on the director's cut or if it's just a bonus feature on this DVD, but
I don't know. It does have a very Planet of the Apes kind of original ending there.
Yeah, well, and that could have led to another sequel that went in yet another direction.
Right, sure.
And cover your ears, Jed, because you haven't watched the last season of Ash vs. Evil Dead. They sort of returned to this idea in Ash vs. Evil Dead. All right, you can uncover your ears, Jed.
Okay, all right, good. Good. I literally did not hear anything.
So there we go, folks. Army of Darkness. Jed, how many pumpkins? We didn't rate the other movies.
No,
how many pumpkins? We'll rate them now. How many pumpkins do you give Evil Dead number 1? Out of 5.
Okay, out of 5. Gotcha.
1, let me just break it down. 1 is I hated it. 2 is I didn't like it. 3 is it was okay. 4, I liked it. 5, I loved it.
I'm going to have to say 3.5.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with 3. What about Evil Dead number 2?
Evil Dead number 2. I would say 4, just because I liked it better than. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm still giving it a 3. And Army of Darkness.
I'm gonna have to rate it like 5.
Wow.
It's great. It's one of my favorites. Really, it is.
It's like those are like Casablanca numbers there.
Well,
those are Josie and the Pussycat ratings.
We'll see. I probably disagree with you there, but I don't remember watching that movie. So,
oh, you must.
But I know you love it. So.
I will send you a screen pass. You can watch it on me.
I do. No, I mean I really do. But it's also one of those ones that my son and I used to watch, and even whenever he was pretty young, it was a way for him to be able to watch a horror movie that wasn't
inappropriately young.
Nightmares, too much. There's enough comic relief and Three Stoogesness kind of going on in the entire show for him to just. I mean, he would crack up, and so I've got that memory attached to it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's great. Hilarious.
I think I'm still going to give it a 3. I like these movies. They're okay, but I don't. I mean, I said 4 as I like it, but they're okay. Though I do like Bruce Campbell. I guess you know what? I'll give it 4 just for Bruce Campbell.
There you go. See, that's how it works for me. I'm a Bruce Campbell fan, but even before I listened to his audiobooks and really became a big fan. It's just I love this movie. It's just so much fun.
I think I mentioned before I bragged on that I got to meet Bruce Campbell once. He was very, very nice. Was at a book signing.
Told me this.
I mentioned it. Well, I said I had an autographed copy of his autobiography.
Yes, that's true.
I guess I thought it was implied. He was doing a book signing when I used to live in New York, and he was very nice. seems just like a nice guy in general.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Though it seems to me if you have any degree of fame, you should work on at least faking being nice around your fans. Because if it weren't for them, you wouldn't be rich and famous.
That is true.
Or at least well off and famous.
They'll stop going to see your movies at some point.
Yeah. You get too grumpy too many times, and they won't put up with that stuff, Shia LaBeouf. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for Army of Darkness.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
What?
There are so many things we did not talk about.
Oh, okay, sure.
I was letting you get it on.
Oh, okay.
There.
No, go ahead. You got more to say. Say it.
Of course. Well, like I said, I do love this movie, and it's because it has so many different of my favorite lines. You know, I opened it up to think, well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Right.
Once again, he starts off just letting you know this is going to be a completely different kind of movie.
Yeah.
He even puts your shoelaces untied. You know, he throws one of those in there to Arthur.
This is my boomstick.
This is my boomstick. Thank you. You know, shop smart. Shop
S smart.
You know, I've got a shirt that says that. I love it. I love it. I use that one all the time. You know, and one of the things that he did do that I thought was great in all three of the movies was anytime he's doing something for his, like I think at one point is whenever he's securing his girlfriend down on the table or whatever. Another time in another one of the other movies, it's when he's donning his chainsaw and his gun and all that kind of stuff. They do these great pop kind of cut sequences with all the sounds, you know.
Yeah. Suiting up montage.
Yes. I mean, he is excellent. Sam Raimi is excellent at putting these in these movies. And that's just another one of his director quirks that I really like. And it's great, especially in this one. You know, it's all these quick pop cut sequences because he's got a new hand. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got one from a suit of armor. Yes,
yeah, he takes a gauntlet and fashions it into a fake hand.
Kind of sounds, which I don't know why. That can't be from that time period. But you know, he gets his hand now and he's trying it out for the first time. This is all still part of the pop sequences. And he grabs a metal cup and crushes it, and they do a pop zoom onto the people in the background, and they're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, he fashions not just a fake hand, a mechanical hand, a functional mechanical hand.
And at the very end, he's got his tagline of that thing, groovy. I just love it. Those kinds of sequences, I could see them in so many movies, and I always love it when I see them. Another one of his lines in this movie that I still use, give me some sugar, baby.
Yep.
Love it. I said it before earlier, it's a total Three Stooges movie.
Yes. That was listed as one of the inspirations in the previous one, is the Three Stooges.
I mean, it totally is in this with the book, with the skeletons when they're coming out of the thing. He even puts his hand in front of his nose, you know, to block the eyes coming, or block the fingers coming towards the eyes, and he's all and then they poke him from the side. Love it. Total Three Stooges.
Well, and they would use the term Shemp sometimes in their credits.
Yes, to mean
for various extras, for various types of small extra parts. They would use the term Shemp.
Well, and for especially whenever they're doing, if you have a scene that has two ashes in it, one of them's a Shemp. You know, because they didn't do the special effects. They just had somebody that they filmed that looked like him, and they would do the filming creatively. He talks about it a lot in his audiobook, and it's great. Once again, it's another one I definitely suggest anybody go out there and listen to, yourself included, Dominic.
Okay.
But yes, to go back on the Three Stooges, they do have the Shemp in there, which is, if you don't know the story of the Shemp.
There's several in the credits for this movie. There's several people listed as fake Shemp. Do
you know why they call him that?
I did, but I don't recall it specifically. I just know it refers to.
If I'm not mistaken, what I remember of it is the guy that played Shemp passed away, and in the Three Stooges, and so they had the normal Three Stooges, and then they were still having Shemp in it or whatnot, and they just filmed him from the back. Every scene that he was in, you just saw him from the back, or from kind of a little slight profile or whatever.
Here we go. Okay, Wikipedia says a fake Shemp is a type of body double who appears in a film as a replacement for another actor or person, usually when the original actor has died or is unable or unwilling to reprise their role. Their appearance is disguised using methods such as heavy makeup or computer-generated stuff, filming from the back, dubbing in audio, and splicing in past footage from the original actor's previous work, using a sound-alike voice actor, or using partial shots of the actor. But Sam Raimi did coin this term.
Yes, he did.
So yeah, his sudden death in 1955 necessitated the use of these techniques to finish the films to which he was already committed.
I just love that. That goes back to the whole thing I love about this group of people making movies is, you know, me and when I was in high school, I had a film group as well. And it was me and my friend Eddie and Mario and my brother Paul. And we all made movies. And every time we go up to the cabin in Cloudcroft, we used to have a cabin there, we would make a movie because we were there for like the holiday or whatever. So we had plenty of time. And so we would do these same kind of things after listening to his audiobook. He was telling me these things. It's like, hey, you get to so comfortable working with these kind of groups of people that you speak your own language as far as, you know, filmmaking goes. You can just be like, hey, I want to do I don't know how to throw it out there, but be like talking about the whole Shemp thing. It's like, hey, we're going to need like 3 Shemps for this one. And that's all you really have to say. And they'll know exactly why you're going to need it and what you're going to need it for and why exactly you're going to be using it, so forth and so on. You just have this second hand that you can use that y'all are all seeing things the same way based off of one little word that you said. And I love that about the filmmaking process. And that Sam Raimi uses it for all of his little movies, or at least he used to when he was using these same kind of crews, same people, because they all went to high school together. Right.
Yeah. Bruce says he used to babysit for Ted. I don't know why Sam wasn't babysitting Ted. I don't know what was going on there.
No telling. Don't know about that one either.
So, although Sam Raimi coined the term fake Shemp, the practice was even predates Shemp's when they actually did it with Shemp. One of the most notorious uses of a fake Shemp is in Plan 9 from Outer Space, when they had to replace Bela Lugosi partway through the film. And much
gloriously just put that arm up over your face. And
a much taller actor just puts his cape up in front of his face. And I don't know, I think that might be where we get the idea of Dracula putting his cape up like that. Because I don't know why he would do that otherwise.
I don't know. I thought he did it in Dracula. I thought it was done in Dracula.
Maybe that's why they thought he could get away with it.
Right. I was like that.
Just do that thing that Lugosi does with his cape. Right. I don't know. I'd have to go back and
think about it. It was definitely the film gods were smiling upon you in that instant, not for the entire movie.
Right. Oh my. Well, Jed, is there anything else? I don't want to cut you off again. Is there anything else you want to add?
Those out and I mean, it's once again, it's one of my favorites because it perfectly blends the comedy and man, their use of stop motion animation is amazing. I mean, yes, you can tell it's stop motion animation, but that does not take away from anything, and it's still done very well and way more difficult than they probably knew they were going to get themselves into because that's Sam Raimi for you.
We're a big fan of the stop motion here on Monster Movie Fun Time Go.
Excellent.
The last thing I want to mention before I go is that I did also get to meet Ted Raimi once.
Oh yeah, really?
They were having this little weird Hercules and Xena convention in New York. Mm-hmm. And he and not any of the leads, but one of the recurring Amazon characters were the guests.
That's cool.
And Tim Thomerson had a table, but he wasn't there.
There's a lot
the Tim Thomerson fan club had a table.
The Tim Thomerson table
Yeah. So I got to meet Ted, and I joined his fan club, and then a bunch of us went out to dinner at the Olive Garden after, and Ted stopped by to say hi real quick. He couldn't stay and eat, but he just stopped by to thank us.
Breadsticks.
To thank us all for coming and for being in his fan club. And I joined the Tim Thomerson fan club, but I didn't actually get to meet him. They just had a table there where you could, get a membership package. But Ted was very nice. I wish he got more work. I think he deserves it. But there you go.
Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We need to do some work on those other projects I'm always talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We won't mention it here.
That makes it sound
But yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
We won't mention it in this horror movie podcast.
No. Folks, thanks for joining us. Follow us on all the socials. Tell all your friends and neighbors. Tell your enemies while you're at it. Don't discriminate. Everybody deserves to enjoy this podcast. Jen will be back with me one more time to talk about the reboot and just a little bit about the series. We're certainly not going to go through every season or every episode, but
I've taken copious amount of notes.
Well, you
every
won't
single episode.
You won't need them.
It's going to be a 16-hour podcast.
That's a separate podcast altogether. Remember to keep calm and seek shelter in basements and to not misuse science. We will not see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go.
Peace.
You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on your podcasting platform of choice. Our theme song is by the Texicano Folk Rock Punk featuring Lita Lopez. You can support the show, find links to our social media, and even leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/MNFTG.